window up with cigarette to film this is crazy, but just smoking my cigarette, listening to Cola by Lana Del Rey, and I'm just like, I need a man. And then I'm like, no, I don't though. Something about that sentence is wrong. Like, let's rewrite the sentence. Let's change around that sentence. A man needs me. A real man needs me.
A few moments later.
Where are all the men?
All right, guys, go and check out this compilation video. Here we go.
Literally, I'm so disillusioned by the male population right now because they're all boys. Tell me why the other week the girls and I are... Can the street traffic not? Like, tell me why the other week the girls and I were at the bar and there's like this guy with his friend and like he was kind of cute, whatever, and he was like looking back over at us and we were like, hey, like, is he gonna like do something? Homeboy goes and sits down at the bar and we're like, okay, whatever, like forget about it. And then we see he's like still just like sitting there alone, like what? And he'll be like, he would like look back at us and we were like, and it's like, what, babe, do you want me to, hey babe, you want me to buy you a drink? Like, what do you want? Like, but they literally just think like they're the prize or something. And honestly, it's because the girls are making them feel that way. The boys are walking up to men and being like, hey, like, oh, please stop approaching men. If they want you, they need to come up to you and get it. Because the sassy man apocalypse and they're just princesses. And it's like, yeah, boo, gender rules, boo. But at the same time, it's like inevitable.
Yeah, so she said the quiet part out loud. I mean, newsflash, men are the prize. They're the prize. I mean, that's just the reality of the situation. Simple economic supply and demand. There's 1,001 of you, and there's very few of the men that these modern women want. Okay, so the fact that the guy was at the bar, hemming and hawing a little bit, he was probably reevaluating the situation and he said, nah, I got too much to lose, built myself up, and I'm cool. So, you know, hey, if these modern women want to get in relationships and to ultimately get married, this, that, and the third, you're gonna have to put yourself out there, right? You're gonna have to put yourself out there. You're gonna have to start approaching men. You're gonna have to start getting curious as to what men want. And the women that are fit, feminine, and friendly, they're the ones that are going to get picked.
A man that has to see is not a man for me. Ladies, stop letting niggas play with y'all. If you ask a man for something and he says, I have to see, run fast. He has no money. He's poor.
Huh?
The f do you have to see, Ray Charles? Sorry, I'm not sorry.
So because a man wants to be financially responsible, he also wants to perhaps build rapport, see if you're even worth him spending money. He's poor.
What?
Show me who you really are when you think I don't have much. And that's exactly who you're going to be for the duration of me knowing you.
I just wanted to say this, like, I understand that, like, pretty women joke about, like, men coming up to them and them acting crazy or, like, acting like they're incoherent. But I will say, I'm at this resort and this man came up to this girl and he wasn't the cutest, I will say. And she was a beautiful lady. He just tapped her on the shoulder to talk to her and she just started screaming, like, ah! And it was, like, so f***ed up and rude.
All right, so Exhibit A. Here we have a man approaching a woman. The woman turns around and screams in his face. Screams in his face, causes a scene. People are probably looking, wondering what's happening. And we live in a society where, you know, believe all women. And there you have it. There you have it. I mean, this is the reason why a lot of guys don't approach women.
I had to look at him and apologize on her behalf. Ladies, if you're not attracted to a guy, that's fine, but you never want to be somebody's 13th reason because that rejection sticks with somebody. Don't be a just because you're beautiful. Like, have some decorum, babes. You screaming in a public space is never going to be attractive. You just made yourself go from a 10 to a 4, the way you just treated that young man. And you know what, sir? I'm so sorry that even happened to you. If you see this, just know your time is coming.
Absolutely insane. Shout outs to this woman here in the video. Basically showing empathy in the situation because she's saying, hey, I saw what happened. I apologize. It was uncalled for. So, shout outs to her, because a lot of women won't admit that, right? They'll go along with the get along when it comes to the sisterhood and back up the nonsense. So, like I said, shout outs to her. Fortunate enough for him, he had an eyewitness to see what happened, where she was able to basically provide her input as to what happened in the situation, right? Could you imagine if it was just the two of them and maybe she spun it differently? Who knows? Who knows? I'm just speculating here. But Exhibit A as to why men don't approach women.
I literally hate when my girlfriends are like, oh, I have a guy friend that I think you'd be interested in. How did he become your guy friend? Oh, he had a crush on you, and then you curved him, and now you're trying to put him onto me. If he wasn't good enough for you, then he's not good enough for me. I don't want him.
Crazy twist on this is if she actually gave him a chance and she got along with him, great guy, protected, provided, they had an amazing relationship, I guarantee that friend would spin the block and try to hate on that relationship. She would actually want the guy even more, although she curved the guy years before, months before. Usually that's what happens, right? Women don't want men that other women don't want. The moment other women want you, then they want you.
Hi, ladies. Okay. If you want to go to Jamaica and have fun, I understand that. Okay. I understand the need and the desire to be desired. Totally get that. All right. But here's what I would advise. All right, ladies, go to Jamaica to have some fun. Make sure you have protection. And number two, don't bring nothing back. Not a thing. Come back with a wonderful tan, and that's it. Don't bring no man back, and don't bring no diseases back. Okay. Because you will catch both out here. All right. So if that's what you need and you feel like going and doing whatever you want to do, let's make sure we are adult women about this. We're not going to lose our minds. We're not going to lose our health, and we don't want to be losing our bank accounts either. All right. So go enjoy yourself. Have a good time. Take pictures and tell stories, but don't bring nothing back. Not a single thing other than, a good story. Love you, ladies.
Nasty work. Absolutely nasty. This sounds like a pep talk, right? This sounds like a locker room huddle at halftime. Okay, you're down by 7, and hey, coach comes in and says, let's put it in the middle. Go team, right? I'm just saying, like, what are we doing here?
Being invisible as we get older. Let me tell you a short story of how I first experienced this. So I'm 57 now. This was probably when I was about 55. I was walking through a mall, and all of a sudden I just got this weird sense that nobody saw me. I just was there, and I was walking, looking at stores and looking at people and different things, but nobody was looking at me. And all of a sudden it occurred to me, oh, people used to look at me. I mean, men used to look at me. Even women would notice me. And all of a sudden I just felt like I wasn't relevant anymore. Like I didn't really matter, and nobody noticed me. And it was the weirdest, emptiest feeling. I felt overwhelmed with a feeling of like sadness and depression. It occurred to me I wasn't as outwardly, I guess, vibrant and attractive as I used to be, if that's what I was, but that's what it felt like. I felt like I just kind of faded into the woodwork, like I wasn't that special, and nothing was really, nobody was really noticing me. I was just kind of there, neutral, like faded, just blended into the scenery.
I think this is a classic case of a woman, once upon a time, had pretty privilege, right? And now she feels invisible. And she's not receiving the perks that she probably was once receiving when she was younger, right? So, I mean, hey, this is what equality looks like, because men have been experiencing the same thing since birth. So, hey, welcome to the club.
Anytime somebody says the words "my truth," it makes me want to just throw up, okay? Because I know what they mean. basically, majority of people when they saying it is like, I want to live in delusion. I want to be able to do what I want to do, make bad decisions, not take accountability, but then I want to stamp the label of my truth so that you can't hold me accountable. You know, you can't say I did something wrong. You can't tell me about myself because it was my truth. It was my story. My feelings were validated because this is what happened to me and you wouldn't understand. So it's like they have pardoned themselves. They can't be held liable or responsible for anything because it was my truth. It was under the grounds and umbrella of my truth. So I'm just going to tell you my story, but let's move along. We don't have to stay here too long. I don't need you to ask me questions about why I made that decision. I'm just dropping that information in there, and then let's go to the next topic. I hate it.
All right, guys, so there you have it. So I would have to agree with her. Shout outs to her for keeping it real there. Yes, we've seen it before, especially with these TikTok videos and get ready with me and, these model women putting on makeup and telling their ridiculous story. We've seen it time and time again, right? So anytime a woman says that, or anyone really, okay, man or woman, their credibility is in question. It really is. But let me know what you guys think about this one. Give me some feedback, and until next time.